National Prosecuting Authority has formally charged ANC NEC member and former Minister of Public Enterprises, Dr. Malusi Gigaba, in connection with the ongoing proceedings related to procurement activities at Transnet in court. And this all happened in Pretoria this morning. Now, the NPA had summoned Gigaba to appear this morning. Gigaba says he will give his full cooperation. For more on this now, we're joined on the line by the SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko, who joins us now for an update on the story. So what a busy morning, Samkele. This hour you can confirm for us that the NPA has officially charged the former Public Enterprises Minister. Tell us more.
Indeed, Mxolisi, this morning Malusi Gigaba did present himself here at the CSIR IDEC offices at Block 10. He is there currently inside with his legal team and with the investigators of IDEC. You do know that there was that heated exchange yesterday between Julius Malema of the Economic Freedom Fighters and Advocate Johnson, who heads the IDEC at this particular time, which is an investigative directorate against corruption within the country, which effectively was formed to investigate allegations of corruption, particularly within government procurement, that has taken place. These charges that Malusi Gigaba is facing relates to the purchasing of locomotives in his era as the Minister of Public Enterprises at Transnet, which has seen other executives of Transnet as well being charged alongside these particular allegations. It does have severe political ramifications for Malusi Gigaba. Dr. Malusi Gigaba, to put some respect to his name, because he has just been awarded with a doctorate at the University of Johannesburg. And these charges essentially relate to his tenure at Public Enterprises. We do also know that effectively now that since he has been charged, he will appear at the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. He will ultimately apply for bail, and he will, after applying for bail, assume that he will send a letter to the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Fikile Mbalula, recusing himself and stepping aside from all responsibilities as an elected National Executive Committee member of the African National Congress. But the foundation of this particular charges was essentially laid by Julius Malema of the Economic Freedom Fighters. There was that heated exchange between Julius Malema and the head of IDEC yesterday. Let's just listen to that particular clip of Julius Malema exchanging with the head of IDEC, Advocate Johnson, yesterday at the ad hoc committee looking into allegations of shenanigans of wrongdoing at the head of the South African Police Service.
Okay, it seems like we don't have that clip, Sam, but I want us to continue now with this conversation. You know, you touched on there Mr. Gigaba being an NEC member of the ANC there. Let's talk about the political implications of all of this. Should he be charged and then the step-aside rule also kicks in, you know, and he's also the chairperson of the Defence Committee in Parliament. What's likely to happen going forward with that?
He is effectively going to have to step aside as an elected member of the African National Congress. He will still remain elected, but he will step aside until he is done with these particular cases. It will be in line with the likes of Pulema Abe, who's an ANC NEC member. He stepped aside due to the fraud, corruption, money laundering and racketeering charges he faces. To the likes of Thabang Makwetla, who's also charged for those gratuitous gifts he received from African Global Operations, formerly trading as Bosasa, for his security upgrades at his home. And ultimately now, Dr. Malusi Gigaba will also have to step aside after he is now formally charged by the National Prosecuting Authority, by this particular case being investigated by the Investigative Directorate Against Corruption within the country, IDEC. He will step aside. He will not perform any functions within the African National Congress. He will remain with his responsibilities within Parliament, where he chairs a portfolio committee. He will remain a member of Parliament, but he will effectively not perform his political responsibilities until he is found guilty. So you are presumed innocent until found guilty. You do remain in Parliament, but you do step aside from representing the African National Congress when it comes to political party activities such as campaigning, such as adhering to your deployments within the African National Congress in whatever respect, whichever province you are deployed in or region. You will step aside from that. And just recently, if I'm not mistaken, last week, he did go to his home region within the greater Kizenga Mpanza region in the Stenga areas, where he was addressing a branch on the lives and times of Oliver Tambo last week. And this time around, he now is effectively charged and will have to move away from any political responsibility. We did speak to a number of sources within the NEC of the African National Congress, and many of them are expressing their displeasure and their dismay at the charges of Malusi Gigaba, basically saying that his campaign within the African National Congress of trying to unite the so-called younger generation was just coming to fruition. This is an attempt to derail his political ambitions come the 2027 conference of the ANC. You do know that the ANC is also going to its National General Council, NGC, from the 8th to the 12th of December, and he will effectively now miss out on that National General Council, which is a midterm review of the elected leadership of the African National Congress from the 2022 conference at Nasrec.
And Sam, also this hour, we do understand that there was that statement that was, of course, penned by one Palesa Letoba from the Dr. Knowledge Nkanyezi Malusi Gigaba, co-chair of the Joint Standing Committee on behalf of Dr. Malusi Gigaba. And, you know, part of it did read that Dr. Knowledge Nkanyezi Malusi Gigaba has been informed by the National Prosecuting Authority that he's required to attend court on the 7th of November 2025. But also just to quickly bolt through the letter, part of it says that he respects the processes and will give his full cooperation to the processes as they continue to unfold. And Sam, you know, you touched on this briefly, and I get the sense that from what you've been hearing from some of your sources is that all this could be politically motivated, is what some of your sources have been saying, given what we hear that Mr. Gigaba has been trying to fight for, which is, you know, bringing the ANC together in a way. Can you just expand on some of those conversations that you've heard on that front?
Indeed, Mkolisi, those who are within the ANC who are aligned to the perspective of Malusi Gigaba do perceive this as a political witch hunt against Malusi Gigaba. You did hear other political leaders of other political formations like yesterday, Julius Malema yesterday, questioning IDEC on why the likes of Gwede Mantashe, who's the national chairperson of the ANC, Nomvula Mokonyane, who's the second deputy general secretary of the African National Congress, why have they not been charged? Why does it look like they are choosing low-hanging fruits to go after, and they're not going after the high-profile politicians within the ANC at this point in time and who are within the top 7 of the African National Congress? I am effectively now just going to go to a message that I received this morning from one source. This message reads that, quote, "If you cadres don't act decisively, these guys will finish all of you alive," exclamation mark, end of quote. That effectively is what we have been told by some of our sources within the African National Congress, that they are effectively scared now that there is a witch hunt against them, particularly all those who may have not been aligned to the incumbent president of the African National Congress. But it does speak to the renewal of what the ANC was saying, that it is trying to renew itself. Those who have effectively done wrongdoing, the state must charge them, they must go to court, they must try clear their names. If they are found guilty, they must go wear orange overalls. It also goes in line to what the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Fikile Mbalula, speaking at the Alfred Nzo Regional Conference lecture of Oliver Regional Tambo last week, Friday, spoke about how people are doing wrong things in the name of the African National Congress, but they're not sent by the ANC. We do know that Malusi Gigaba has continuously said that he is innocent, and this is a witch hunt against him, particularly when it comes to the issues pertaining to the Gupta brothers. You also go to the State Capital Commission of Inquiry. His former ex-wife, Noma Mgoma, who was then Noma Gigaba, with the revelations of the stashes of money in safes, stashes of money within the spare wheel of the car that he had at the time, the bodyguard that spoke anonymously about Malusi Gigaba as well at the State Capital Commission of Inquiry, allegations of money being given monies by the Gupta family, the Gupta, him linking up the Gupta family's business links with other individuals within these state-owned companies at Transnet, at Eskom, and other parastatals that are owned by government. It all goes back to those revelations that were divulged at the State Capital Commission of Inquiry that was chaired by the former Deputy Chief Justice and former Chief Justice Raymond Zondo.
And Sema, dare I say as well that it's been a very busy morning insofar as politics are concerned. As you can see there, our viewers can also see it on their screens, that the suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu has just handed over devices to the South African Police Services. What more do we know about this, Sam?
Indeed, there was a statement earlier on issued out by a spokesperson of the suspended Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu. I'm just going to go to that particular statement that was sent out by Thembiso Mshengu, who is the spokesperson of Minister Senzo Mchunu. Quote, Minister Senzo Mchunu confirms he has handed over his electronic devices to the South African Police Service SABC investigations as part of an ongoing investigation. Mr. Mchunu reiterates his full cooperation with all law enforcement processes, reaffirms his unwavering commitment to transparency, accountability, and respect to the rule of law. From the onset, Mr. Mchunu has maintained that he has nothing to hide and welcomes any lawful investigation aimed at clarifying facts and upholding the integrity of public office. He remains confident with all due processes, will confirm his actions has been ethical, lawful, and consistent with his duties as a member of the executive. Mr. Mchunu remains focused on his responsibility to serve the people of South Africa and to safeguard integrity of the country's democratic institutions. This statement was released on behalf of Mr. Senzo Mchunu by his spokesperson, Mr. Thembiso Mshengu, who is effectively speaking on behalf of Minister Senzo Mchunu on all issues related to the investigations at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, at the ad hoc committee. It also ties in line with these investigations by IDEC, the Investigative Directorate Against Corruption of all state capture-related cases, corruption cases that have taken place in the country. We've seen that this particular unit came under severe scrutiny and fire at the ad hoc committee from opposition leaders and members of parliament and members of the ad hoc committee of these shenanigans that have gone on in the South African top echelons of the South African Police Service.